The iPhone 16 event, its glow time is in less than 1 week from now, and I don't know about you, I am super excited for this Apple event to know everything from the iPhone 16, the iPhone 16 Plus, the iPhone 16 Pro, and also the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And the great thing is, today we're going to cover over everything that we know about these models, and the best way we're going to do this is via a tech sheet for every single model. And to begin with, I'm going to jump in there straight away. We're going to look at the normal iPhone 16 and we're going to progress ourselves up to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So let's have a look at the iPhone 16 then first of all. So the new iPhone 16 isn't going to really get a big sort of design change in its sort of screen size and its actual sort of body design. The only one thing that might be changing is obviously we might get 2 cameras on the back that are going to be vertical this time, and we won't have like a square on the back, but we'll talk about that later. But for the actual screen itself, it's going to be a 6.1-inch display, what's the same we have right now, but this will be a new OLED display, so this is going to be a more efficient display that we've seen in leaks in the past, but the resolution of this will still be 2532 by 1170, and it will still be a 60 Hz display. We're not going to get ProMotion inside a normal iPhone 16 this time round. The great news is though, we are going to be getting 8GB of RAM, and this is going to help out with the likes of say Apple Intelligence right now, and at the time of the launch this will probably be the cheapest iPhone that you can get with Apple Intelligence built in. For the actual storage amount, the actual storage is going to start at 128GB for this iPhone 16, and it will go all the way up to the potential of a 1TB storage option this time round. There also will be the A18 this time. We're not going to get a watered down A17 or anything like that. We're going to get a brand new A18 inside of it to go with that 8GB of RAM we talked about a minute ago, and then obviously this will give us with Apple Intelligence and all the benefits we get there. But the CPU itself will be made out of 4 efficiency cores, 2 performance core, and it will also be a 4-core GPU too. The actual body of this will be an aluminum body, and like I said, it will be a dual camera setup on the rear, and it will be vertical cameras this time, mainly because of spatial video or spatial vision, whatever you want to call it. But both these cameras have the potential to be a 48 megapixel camera snapper this time for the wide and ultra wide. That's what we've been hearing, but the worst case scenario will be just the wide will get a 48 megapixel, but the ultra wide might still just retain a 12 megapixel. But for the actual battery size this time around for the normal iPhone 16, it will be a 3561 milliamp battery, and then that base model of this version, the 128GB model, will start at $799 US. So this is the normal iPhone 16, but what about the iPhone 16 Plus this time around? What are we going to be getting there? Well, let's have a look then at its tech specs. But just before that, so then guys, I want to quickly talk to you about today's sponsor of this video, and that is from Casetify. Casetify makes some of the most amazing protective cases out there, just like this ultra bounce case that I have right here, what can be dropped from 32.8 foot and yet still protect your iPhone, just like this slow motion video is showing right here. This means this case has a 10 times military grade on it, and the way how this is achieved is because of these extra kind of sort of bumpers around the side here, and also there's a hard shell back plate and also the X-shaped EcoShot lining inside of this case too. There is also a protected lens cover, what you can see right here, and overall this case gives us a 6-layer of protection with this. And in fact, this phone has been tested and dropped on all the different corners and sides 260 times to make sure that it is fully protecting out your iPhone. And also, you don't just have a actual pattern on the back, you could also have, say, the clear case like I have right here, also for my iPhone 15 Pro Max, so you can actually see the real colors behind if you really want that too. But there's loads of other accessories what you can get for Casetify cases and your phone. For example, you can get a wallet holder and stand, or what you can get is you can actually get this grip stand here with some ninja stars that have been custom designed on the back, will all just connect onto the MagSafe on the rear. But if you're a person who's still afraid that you may just drop your iPhone, well, you can get like this cross utility lanyard as well, what you can connect up to your Casetify case, what is also really useful, say if you're going hiking or something like this. And then Casetify are also doing their bit for their environment. So for example, this clear case that I showed earlier, it's actually made out of 65% recycled materials inside of it, what is really, really awesome. Not only this, you can customize your Casetify case just like what I've done right here, and there's loads of different sort of options that you can choose from for your Casetify case, including offering, say, MagSafe on the rear, for example. And if you want to check out these cases and many more, and also these accessories that I've shown today, make sure that you go to casetify.com/MacTalksTech to get a 10% off discount. So make sure you protect your phone right now with a Casetify case. And with that, let's return back to the main video. So these specs are very similar to the likes of the iPhone 16 we just talked about, but let's go over some of the other sort of differences. And probably the main big one is going to be the size of this iPhone. So it's going to be the standard 6.78-inch display, the same as like the iPhone 15 Pro Max. With that, it's the same display, and also the iPhone 15 Plus. But we will be getting another new OLED display inside of it. This is going to be even more efficient, more brighter, things like this. So this will help out with battery life and so on. But the actual resolution of this will be 2778 by 1280, and again this is going to be a 60 Hz display because it's not a Pro model, so we're not going to get any Pro motion there. Again, we are going to be getting the upgrade to 8GB of RAM, what's really good to see in an iPhone 16 model, a normal range. But then the storage amounts are going to start the same as the normal iPhone 16, 128GB, 256GB, 512GB, and the potential of a 1TB storage option too in this normal plus size of the iPhone 16. We're also going to be getting that A18 chip or SoC, and obviously this is going to be combined with that 8GB of RAM, so features of Apple Intelligence will work with this iPhone, so that's really good to hear. We're not going to get an A17 Pro or watered down A17, but this A18 will consist of 4 efficiency cores, 2 performance core, and also a 4-core GPU too. The body is also going to be made out of aluminum or aluminium, depending where you are in the world there for its body, and it will be a dual camera design again. Again, like I said, this is for spatial vision and spatial video. It's going to be vertical this time, and the main wide camera will be a 48 megapixel, but we may also see the potential of the ultra wide to get a 48 megapixel too. If not, it will be a 12 megapixel inside of it. The battery size inside of this iPhone is going to be a 4006 milliamp battery. This is actually slightly smaller than the iPhone 15 Plus that we had last year, but one thing that I'm going to say is the A18 is going to be even more efficient, that new OLED display too, so probably the battery life is going to be about the same as the iPhone 15 Plus. But the base model, the 128GB model, is going to be coming in at $899 US. So that is all the normal iPhone 16 models. But what about the Pro iPhones this time round? What are we going to see with the iPhone 16 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro Max? Well, let's get started then with the iPhone 16 first of all, and let's see what we've got right here. So the iPhone 16 Pro is actually going to get a slight sort of increase in its size this time round, and because of this, we're actually going to get a 6.3-inch display instead of a 6.1-inch display. Again, this is going to be a new OLED display to be even more efficient and more brighter than before. It's going to give us 460 pixels per inch, so really clear clarity there. 120 Hz ProMotion display going all the way down to 1 Hz, so that's going to be really good on your battery life, especially like on an always on display. We're also going to be getting 8GB of RAM inside of this phone, again very similar to the iPhone 15 Pro. The storage options this time though for this model will start at 256GB, not 128GB, but we'll get a 512GB, 1TB, and there is also still that potential of a 2TB storage option inside of this phone. We're also going to be getting a new A18 Pro up from the A17 Pro, which is going to be far faster. This will consist of 4 efficiency cores, 2 performance cores, and again it will have a 6-core GPU inside of it, so very powerful there. We're also going to get a titanium body, again very similar to like the iPhone 15 Pro, but we have been told it might be a smooth titanium body this time, not a brushed version. We'll have to wait and see. We are going to get a triple camera this time, and this time though, with that triple camera, we're actually going to get a 120mm focal optical zoom this time. Instead of last time when we got the 3x zoom, it will be a 5x zoom, which is really great. 48 megapixel camera for the ultra wide and the wide this time round, and also the LiDAR sensor included. The battery size of this iPhone 16 Pro is going to be a 3,355 milliamp battery size, and that base model of the 256 gigabytes is coming in at $1,099 US. That's $100 more than last year, but do remember we are getting far more better specs this time around, and also the storage has gone up a tier. And do remember the iPhone 15 Pro for the 256 gigabyte model costs $1,099 US. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the replacement then to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and that is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And let's have a look at the tech specs for this then. So starting out, we're going to be getting a larger display inside of this iPhone 16 Pro Max. We're actually going all the way up to a 6.9-inch display, and this is a new OLED display again inside of this. More efficient and more brighter too. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It has 460 pixels per inch inside of this, what is brilliant. So it's going to be nice and clear. Again, it will have that 120 Hz ProMotion inside of it, so this will be really sharp. And then obviously it can go down to 1 Hz for, say, the always on display, so that's going to be great. We're also going to be getting 8 gigabytes of RAM inside of this iPhone again, and the storage options will start at 256 gigabytes like the 15 Pro Max, a 512 gigabyte option, a 1 terabyte option, and the potential of a 2 terabyte storage option too. We're also going to be getting A18 Pro, the successor to the A17 Pro, combined with that 8 gigabyte RAM, giving us fantastic Apple Intelligence skills there. And then obviously this A18 Pro is going to be made out of 4 efficiency cores, 2 performance cores, and we're also going to be getting the 6-core GPU. The body again will be titanium this time round, but we might actually get a smooth titanium body. It might not be brushed like the iPhone 15 Pro model, so that might be different. It's going to be a triple camera setup again, but this time for the iPhone 16 Pro Max, we've had leaks and rumors come in that we could actually be getting a 300mm focal optical zoom, and if I do my translations there, that could be around about a 10 to sort of 12 times sort of zoom there, just a normal optical zoom. So that could be absolutely amazing to have that, but we still will probably get a 48 megapixel ultra wide and wide sensor too, and also that LiDAR sensor. The battery inside of it sadly doesn't hit 5,000 milliamps, but it's still amazing. It's going to be 4,676 milliamp battery size, what is larger than the 15 Pro Max, but do remember with the A18 Pro being even more efficient than the A17 Pro, and also that new OLED display being efficient again, do think that the actual battery life is going to extend out more than what the iPhone 15 Pro Max has right now. The base model of the 256 gigabyte model will be coming in at $1,299 US this year. And with that, guys, that is all of the tech specs for all of the iPhone 16s this year round so far, what we've had. Obviously, there might be some new ones just before the actual announcement from Apple, and if they do, I'll be updating the sheet and telling you guys all about that. But that is the latest and greatest. What are your thoughts on this? Will you be getting yourself any of the iPhone 16 models based on these tech specs, or will you be leaving it another year or two? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. Also, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons like we've done today, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.